wait a couple of seconds for more guys to join in. So we'll be starting in a few seconds. Okay, so let's get started. Once again, warm welcome to everyone joining us today on this webinar. Today we'll be talking about how you can integrate a compiler and an IDE to your website or your learning management system. Before we get started, I would like to inform everyone, whoever has questions either during the webinar or after the webinar, if you are also watching the recording later, if you have any questions regarding the topic for today, you can connect with us on Discord. I will be sharing the link in the chat below. So any questions that you might have, please do connect with us on Discord. I've shared the link in the chat. So connect with us there. Any queries, concerns about the webinar or anything related to JDoodle, you can connect with us on Discord. Okay, so moving forward, before we get started to the main topic, the main agenda of the day, I will just give a little brief on what JDoodle is all about. So JDoodle is an AI-powered cloud-based IDE and programming platform. It requires zero setup environment. It's about 88 plus languages. We also feature a Chrome extension, a mobile application. We have compiler APIs, embeds. We have an assessment platform, and we also have an AI coding assistant, which is called JDroid. So we serve around 1 million users on a monthly basis. And also we empower educational institutions, edtech platforms, around 10,000 plus. So we help them in making education more interactive, more engaging. Introducing our speakers for today, we have our very own founder and CEO, Gokul Chandrasekaran. So he is the mastermind, the driving force behind JDoodle. He will be taking you through the various integration options, how they can benefit you, and how you can include them into your website or your LMS. We also are going to be, we also have speakers Sharda and Iqbal. They are also another two brilliant minds behind JDoodle. So they will be taking you through a live demo on both the integration options that we have. So without further ado, let's get started. Over to you, Gokul.
Thanks, Melvi. Welcome to this webinar, everyone. We are very excited to have you all. JDoodle is an AI-powered online programming platform. Actually, we are trying to help everybody in our programming community, starting from learners, teachers, to the actual developers. In today's webinar, we are going to cover how, as a teacher or a technical blogger or a tech platform or whoever needs to integrate an IDE or an assessment platform into your platform without doing much things. Like with our Embed, for example, you can drop 3 lines of code and an IDE can get embedded into your platform. So that's the focus for today. We have run another webinar recently which covered everything about JDoodle, and we will be running more webinars on different topics. Please feel free to connect with us through various channels. We got a Discord channel, our social media platforms, or you can contact us through our website as well. Okay, how a teacher or a technical blogger can get benefit. So for example, you can go to our website, you can create an embed. Sharda will show you how to create various embeds. Most of our options are free. We have a very generous free tier. You can play with that and you can just live with that with hundreds of students easily. But if you want to scale, you can upgrade as well. As a teacher, you can go create an embed and you can put it into your LMS or any of your courseware, so the students can practice straight into your platform without going out of your course material. For example, you have a course in Moodle and students is reading the course material in one place and practicing in different places. You don't need to have that problem anymore. The students can practice straight in. Our plugins are very advanced. You can communicate with our plugin from our main page. Our plugins also can communicate with your main page. So you can insert programs. You can capture what the student is doing. You have full control. It's all within the plugin itself. Technical bloggers, you can do the same thing. I will quickly show you how the other technical bloggers are using our embed. After this overview, if you are an edtech platform, there is no limit for you. You can enhance your edtech platform, be it an LMS, be it an assessment system. With our IDEs and assessment APIs, there's no limit. You can give unlimited improvement in your user experience and customer experience. Educational institutions, we have some big names in our customer list. They use our APIs and embeds to innovate various new ideas to improve the student experience. Honestly speaking, some of the education institutions have told us that the user experience, especially their student experience, has increased 30%. And the teachers have stopped wasting almost 50% of their time in debugging and solving the IT related issues. So now everybody can just focus on coding without worrying about what laptop I have, how to configure the compilers, all that stuff. And one of our other major beneficiaries are coding bootcamps. Some coding bootcamps have their own platform, and they have integrated our IDEs and assessments, and some are just using our platform for their whole experience. Either way, you can get benefit. Software library providers, for example, Java, .NET, Python, you have so many library providers. The library providers are using our embeds and the APIs to demonstrate how their libraries are working. I will show you a quick example of that as well. Okay. Before going into the demo, I will show you, probably I will explain various options, how you can integrate JDoodle's capabilities into your platform. One is Embed, another one is API. Embed is, as I said before, you just go to our platform, create an embed, you get 3 lines of HTML code, you just put it into your website or your LMS, anywhere, it renders the embed, your users can start use the IDE. Compiler APIs. Compiler APIs gives you much more control. So you create your own UI and you connect our compiler APIs with your product, and there's no limit. You have the full control. Even embeds have pretty much good control, but compiler APIs gives you much more on top of it. And we have 2 types of APIs. One is REST API, which basically you send the program with the inputs and other stuff. We will send you the output. And we support WebSocket APIs, so your user can communicate directly with our server. So you integrate our WebSocket API into your website, then the users can practice almost like they would be doing it in a command line in a system. Embeds coming in 3 flavors. Basic embed. Basic embed, basically it gives you everything, like you can edit, you can put your program, users can practice all that, but the look and feel will be fixed. You can't change the look and feel. It comes with whatever JDoodle provides. Premium embeds, there's no limit. You can just go drag and drop. We have a what you see is what you get type of specific editor. You can configure your embed the way you want. You can change the look and feel of it almost the way you want. Everything self-service, you can do it in our platform. Then again, at the end, you will get 3 lines of code. You just copy, put it into your platform, you get the IDE inside your platform. The other difference between basic and premium is, with premium, you can do communication, host to embed communication, embed to host communication. What I mean by that is, whenever a user types a code in the embed, you can get that in the main page. And from the main page, you can control everything inside the embed as well. For example, you can execute the program from your main page. You can set the code, you can get the code. There is no limit. So full control. Ultra embeds, even though we have complete freedom for you to customize everything in premium, there can be some limitation. For example, you may be wanting a different look and feel, which is not possible in premium. That type of use cases, you can talk to us. We will provide you ultra embed. Basically, ultra embed is, we will give you a template, you go and create whatever the look and feel you want. Honestly, there is no limit there. Those are the 2 offerings we have, and it's all about how you can innovate with this into your product and into your teaching use cases. Let me quickly show a few websites using our embeds. Sorry, I'm having some trouble sharing my screen. Probably, maybe you have to stop sharing.
Again?
No, I couldn't. Sorry, guys, give us a second. Maybe that's fine. I can show it at the end. We can go to the next slide. Uh, yeah, these are the things I wanted to show, but that's fine. Let's go straight into demo. I will hand over to Sharda, then we can come back. Probably the sharing problem is fixed by then. Sharda, can you take over?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Gokul. So in this video demo, I'm going to quickly show you what Gokul have mostly discussed. So let me share my screen. Is my screen is visible? Iqbal?
Yep, we can see that.
Yep. Thank you. So to start with, I think Gokul give a very good explanation what is Embed is. But Embed is pretty much you can integrate our ID into your own website, web application, or your blogs or anything that support three line of HTML code. So in our application, if you come to in our website, if you come to the Embed Manager page, you can see there's few things. First thing, here you can see how many embed you have created and how many people have viewed your embeds and how many times they have executed embeds. And furthermore, there's you can add domains for your embeds. That's where you can limit the places your embeds can be placed in any website. For example, if you put google.com, so only google.com will be allowed to run your embeds. So yeah, as Gokul mentioned, there's few type of embeds, basic, premium, and ultra one. Currently, I'm using a pro plan account, so I get like 10 uh, premium embeds and unlimited amount of basic embed. To start with, let me create a simple basic embed. So to create, you put the name and maybe put a description. In basic embed, you can only select one language. So out of 85 language we support for embeds, you can select, let's go with C sharp, and then you can select the whatever the version you want to run it, and you can add the language. Once you add the language, you can start, you can click preview. On that preview, you will go to the basic editor. But as Gokul mentioned before, in the basic embeds, we do not support the ability to edit. So uh, what you can't customize this layout. So, but in this basic embed, you get everything you want. Uh, for example, you can write some code. Let me go to the main website, get some code for the C sharp, copy and paste and execute even in the editor itself. Taking a bit time. Yeah, using .NET 7, but yeah, as you can see, sum of X and Y is 35, and you get bit of information about to execute execution as well. So in this embed, mainly you can basic embed, mainly you can do is go there and get these three line of code mentioned by Gokul. So imagine you have your own website. In that website, you have header or whatever you want to have, but all you have to do is just put these three lines, two line of codes, and save it. Currently, I'm running it as a live server. So if you go here, refresh, you will see the our JDoodle ID on your web page. So again, you can copy paste and select. Let's select different language, and you can execute. So yeah, that's the basic embed. But if we come to creating a premium type of embed, let's go and create one. In the premium embed, soon as you select premium, there's no limit how many languages you can add. So you can add all 85 languages if you want. So let me add C# as well. So yeah, soon as you configure, now you can customize your editor however you want. For example, you can move and resize these components, and if, for example, if you go here, you can do like hide the title, now only see the selector itself, and you can give it a custom name if you want, and display rows or columns, like anything you can do with CSS for each component. You can change. For example, you can change the colors. So yeah, in our editor, there's two types of components. One is the HTML components, and the other one is JDoodle component. So for HTML components, you can drag and drop tabs. So in different tabs menus, inside of the tabs, you can put different content if you want. And you have flex. So if anyone using flex, so for example, if you put another, let me put two text. And if you go to the settings, you can change the flex direction, margin, padding, anything, pretty much border radius, anything pretty much you want. So yeah, and also you have selection area. It's pretty much I would consider it's more as a div. So you can change the background colors or add a padding, or again anything you can think of. You can do it with CSS. You can do it here. So that's itself the HTML element. As you can see, this our embeds already have few components predefined. So for example, editor and select version. So you can also put the standard input and input arguments. Those things you have previously seen on JDoodle website is already there. You can actually remove these things, which I'm not going to do it now, and or you can edit. Where we create the embeds, whether you have any component here or not, you can still using embed to host communication. Even though there's no component on it, you can still execute your program, which I will show later. So for other, like if I talk about the JDoodle components, so give me a second. Yeah, some background application running. So let me go back to editing the component. So if you can also put a drag and drop other components such as language. If you can remember, when we create this embeds, we select multiple language. Now you can select different languages. And so yeah, we provide like a lot of around 7 to 8 JDoodle components. Each one you can add external libraries. For example, if I drag and drop, currently this there's no external libraries. You can put it, add a library, remove library. So when you execute next time, our compiler will automatically pick it up, the library, and execute with that. So yeah, and also if I talk about the general configuration bit, so if I go to manage default programs, for each language you have previously select, you can put a default like a program. So for example, I will put AWK, ADA, and C# some default program. Actually, let me put something meaningful. So for C#, I put this one. So when you finally put this on your website, if the student or user comes and select a different language, you will see those default language comes as the initial program. So same thing with the other things. You can set the default libraries for each language. You can import files, and you can set the default standard input output and default execution mode. For example, currently interactive mode is disabled, but if you always want to run your application in the interactive mode, you can set it from here. And other things such as you can set the default font size. So now that I configure, let me put something else as well, like a section with a different color, for example. So now that I configure all this, I can save it as a draft, which will not affect your final end user's view, but it will save as a draft, so you can come back and edit sometime later, or you can directly save and proceed. So since I create a new premium plugin, I had to again I had put that code for that specific embed here. So now that I do that, if I refresh, you will see the premium embed. Again, this one can be highly customizable, and there's no limit actually. Anything you can do with CSS, you can pretty much do. So I want to go to the next part right now. If you come to download code, in the premium embed, you will see these host to embed settings and also embed to host settings. For this example, I'm going to turn it on. As you can see, when I click on one of these, you will get an example code. So these again, like these are just example JavaScript code to give you a bit of idea. But if you're using React, Vue, or any other web application or any learning management system that supports JavaScript or anything, so you can use those things. These are just example code. So let me select few of these, and you can easily go up here and copy to clipboard, go back to your code editor or something, and update your code. As you can see, to give a bit of a context, these are simple HTML and JavaScript code. Each will very easy to understand. Pretty much we use events to communicate to host to embed and embed to host. Now that I save, my example codes will also come here. So for example, get code. As you can see here, I open my console. If I click the get code button, you will see whatever the code you have already put here. So this will be a very great tool if you have your own application and you can get the code whatever the your student user writing in a certain amount of time. When they execute or after they execute is up to you pretty much. You can there's over 20 something functional features, embed to host and host to embed host, which covers like almost anything you can and you want to do. So for example, again, if I select the C#, it will pick up the default code. And now that I go here and click get code, you will see this code. And also another example, if I set the code, like this is the code I want to set through my React application or anything. So when you click, your embed will automatically get that. And also you can execute from here. For example, if you don't want to put the execute button here, and then you can totally remove it from your embed creation page and just use your React or any application to execute from your host application. And also you can get the selected languages list. It comes as a JSON array format, so it will currently we have select Ada, Algo, and C# and other languages. And also you can set the languages through this IDE. So currently I'm on C#. If I want to set it to Ada, which is the ID 1, let me put it there and set the language. It's automatically update. And if you have previously set the default code, it also comes as a default code. And so also for that particular language, you can get the version list and set the version, get the whatever the interactive mode you're on. Currently you on the interactive mode, true, or now that I turn off is false. And also you can turn it on and off interactive mode and get set and get the standard inputs. So if I come back here, so let me give you another quick example. Let me turn this off, all of this. And also we have another one called post to JDoodle. With click of button, you can open it on our JDoodle application website and run it. And also you have the receive code when the program is changed by the users. And you have another embed host setting called receive the output when the program is done executing. So let me get the code for those two things. And let me again update everything. So yeah, now that I go back here, soon as I turn on the enable on code editor update, now that I type anything, as you can see, you can get the user's input. So for example, if you have I don't know, a code challenge application to see someone's typing something, and you can save it on get this data, save it on your database. Is pretty much up to your imagination. And also enable on execute complete. So now that I click on it, when I execute, currently there's let me actually currently I'm on AWS. Let's go to C#. Let's select some version like this. Now that I execute, you will also get the execution result. So again, with this one, you can on your own application or LMS, you can do pretty much whatever you can think of. And post to JDoodle, if I click on it, it will try to open. Let me click on it again. It will get the set your code and version and everything to our JDoodle website. So yeah, that's pretty much about it. I think I will give it back to Gokul or Iqbal to present.
Okay. Thanks, Sarada, for the time. Or maybe Gokul, you wanna go first regarding the issues just now? Sorry, Gokul, come again.
You can go ahead.
Okay. All right. Okay. Hi everyone. Thank you so much for having me. So let me share my screen. Yep. So here I'm going to explain like regarding our API capabilities. So imagine we already have so many features in our IDE, in our compilers, and maybe you guys are expecting to have those, like to have full controls of having those capabilities bringing to your website or your LMS. Then APIs is going to be your other options. And here we bring three different capabilities we overview. First one is like we have a basic IDE, so it's like you can have the capability of the basic IDE, which is compiling a single file into an API that you can use, or it can be an advanced IDE or multi-file compilation, like you can compile multiple files and in form of an API, which you can use in your website. Or the next thing is the AI things, which you can also use our API to to have different capabilities of our AI, starting from generating code, like explaining the code, or debugging the code, or maybe commenting, like, and also the any other capabilities that our AI has. So to begin with, let's begin one by one. So let's begin with the basic IDE files. So here, as we can see, it's only able to compile one language. And to be able to explain you, let's go to the example that I have provided here. So in this case, we have so many different functionalities here, right? Starting from external libraries, which here we are using, the like the APC. library, and also we can also specify the input argument, the argument input, and also the standard inputs. So probably for all of us, some of you are not sure what is it for. Basically, this argument input is the one that is going to be used, like passing an argument here. So like as what we can see, this program is basically like reading the argument input here and printing it. And then for standard input, this one is the one, where our program is, like, for example, expecting some input from our console, then we can specify it here. This one probably is will be used for non-interactive one, but for interactive we are absolutely not needing this anymore. But this is just for example. And then the libraries here, I'm giving you an example of using the libraries for math, and it's exporting the external libraries from this one. And to be able to perform this interaction in form of an API, we can use one of our endpoints, which is execute API. And yeah, this endpoint basically is available in our documentation. And then to be able to do that, we have different fields in payload that we need to send, starting from the script. This one is the code that we want to compile. And then the second one, we have an argument. This argument is basically the input argument that we are going to pass to the main function, which usually we specify it over here. But then next we have standard input. So this standard input basically the input that we are expected to input in our console when we are running the program. But in this case, since we are using REST, right? So it's not an interactive mode. So we need to specify it at front. So this is usually what we specify here. And then the next thing, we have a language. This language, since we are using Java, so we specify Java. As we know that we are supporting like more than 80 languages, then those things we can find it in our documentation here. So we have a lot of supported languages, and this is what you need to send in your REST API request. And then next things, we have version index. So this version index is usually started in integer like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. This is specified also in our documentation. So for example, you want to use like C#, and you're expecting to use one of these versions, then what you need to send is not this one. Instead, you need to send it in the integer index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. And then the libraries, it's so yep, of course we are supporting like using multiple libraries in in one compilation. So it's in a in array. So you can specify other, like for example, other libraries here, the second one, or you want to have the third library, it's also possible as well. So in this case, we are only using one libraries. And the next one, we have project keys. This one, since this is not really used in basic and compilation, or in one file compilation, but for one file compilation, you just need to specify to 1001. And regarding whether, or since this program is not using input file, so we specify it as false. And then regarding the client ID and client secret, this is the one that is associated with your account. So to be able to get this, you need to go to your account and go to the API sections. And yep, here it is. You can actually specify your subscription, but this is what we need: client ID and client secret. You can copy this and paste it here. Yep. So as what we can see, this program is basically expecting to read the argument from the main functions, and we're going to print this. And then the second one, we are expecting to get an input from your console, which we specify at front here. And then the next one, it's using an external libraries from math3, which we already specify here. Okay, so once everything ready, it's ready. We are ready to go to compile this program, and then yep, and boom, this is the outputs. So that's for the basic IDE capabilities, or one file compilation API that you can use. The details you can have a look again in our documentation, which is already there in our website. And probably some of you are questioning, it's quite hard to read this encoded string. I want to be able to like bring my program, copy and paste it directly to my API, which is not going to work in JSON mode. Then we are also providing you another basic compilation endpoint to support multi-line, which is going to be so much easier for you to do. So what you can do is you can just copy and paste your program. You don't even need to do the encoding for you. It's just you just need to copy and paste in your Postman, and then you just need to specify other parameters in your payloads, this together with the client ID, client secret, and the standard input. Then you can basically uh, compile it. Yep, and the output is the same. Then another capabilities we overview here is there was one more field you can use in API, which called compile only. So this compile only is basically used, to get the API to just compile our language. So there was not be the output, but it's very helpful to, for example, you want to know whether this program is running well or not. So in this case, uh, if you want to compile it, then there will be a compilation status which is 0, indicating that the program is fine. So, like for example, if I send like a wrong program, I add a random characters here, and I can try to compile it, and there will be an output indicating that it is an error, and then the compilation status will be 1. So it's going to be helpful for you to know, for example, you are running a challenge in the code, and then you want to know whether the participants code is running well or not. So you can just use this field. It's super helpful. Then the second things, maybe you are questioning that, how about if I want to send like multiple libraries in one compilation, then you can specify other field here using the same name, and then it's going to be considered the second libraries. If you want the third libraries, then you can identify, makes another field called the same libraries, and specify your third libraries here. That's for the basic IDE. Then we go to the next capabilities, which is compiling, the multiple multiple codes in one compilations. So it's what we can see. Basically, it's just bringing the capability of this advanced IDE. You can specify like multiple files in your codes, and then you can compile it with external libraries and inputs, something like that. So to be able to do that, of course, you need to give your code to us. So that means you need to upload the project files of yours to our endpoint. So basically, how that work is, you got 3 options. The first one, you can upload your file first, and then once it is uploaded, we are going to give you a project key, and you can use that project key with the execute params in the second API request. So basically, the way how you upload your project files, and also you when you are execute execute your program, it is on the different requests. The second option is just you can directly upload your files and also the execution parameters in the same request. Or the next option is you can reuse your the project key in the next request. So in this case, we are providing you 3 endpoints. The first one is basically the endpoint to just upload the file only. So in this case, I specify a test project. So there will be it's on PHP, there are two files here, and if you open the files, there are it's using carbon together with the index file here to print those requests. And then first thing I need to do here is I can use this endpoint execute API multi-file upload only. So this is what this endpoint will just be, uploading your file only without any compilation, and you'll get a project key response, which indicating that your project file is already stored in our end. And then there will be another, endpoint which called execute existing to execute the existing project file already there. We just need to put our project key here, and we can execute it right away with diff. Of course, with diff, if we want to try to do it with different input arguments or standard input, you can specify it here. It is up to you. So the next things, maybe you prefer to just upload the file and execute it anyway. We also provide the second, the third endpoint, which is execute API multi-file. So in this case, you can specify your execution parameters in a form data together with your project file. And then once you get everything ready, you can right away execute the code with you. So that's basically the multi-file. So just for your information, this is just in uninteractive mode, of course, because we are using REST protocol. So yeah, you need to specify every input. You need to specify every input at front. It cannot be interactive for you. But for this, maybe you want your program in your website needs to be interactive. Then in that case, you need to use WebSocket. So this is going to be the next thing I'd like to explain to you. So to be able to use that, basically I already prepared an example, like a simple WebSocket here, and then the program would be expecting to get a input and then print it for you. So to be able to do that, you can get this example in our documentation as well. I'll explain a little bit. You just need to use the soft.js and WebStorm.js already provided in our platform in this endpoint, and then you need to hit the storm endpoint to activate your WebSocket. And then once everything is ready, you can open the file, and the JavaScript will be executed for you. And then what will happen is that it will execute the script for you, specifying the parameters for the compilation, and uh, and then it's going to be executed. But before that, you need to provide a API token for you for the WebSocket. So to be able to do this, you need to hit one of our endpoint we already provided, called out token. So in this case, you will need to get a client ID and client secret, and then if you hit that, you'll get a WebSocket token for you to to create a WebSocket connection. And then once it is there, you can save, and then you can open the files in the browser for testing, and you can see there it is. The code is already executed. Then you can type anything as an input, right? Test input. You can say enter, and then yep, it's like a very interactive mode that you can bring to your website with your REST. So here you have a full control. You can create your own UI. You can create your own system using our REST endpoint to provide the compilation capabilities for you. Then you might be questioning, this file is only compiling a single file of code, right? Then how about if you want to bring the multi-files capability to my WebSocket? Yes, of course, it's very possible. What you need to do is just basically you can upload your file first, and then you'll get a project key, and yep. So it's pretty much you can just copy this payload into your into your payload in your WebSocket. So like for example, here I already preferred you an example. It's already provide everything, the compilation parameters in it, and you just need to put the project key that we already had in our previous execution, and then don't forget to get another uh, WebSocket token, and then we can get another one, and then we can copy, so we can get back to the files. Yep. So then we can test it in our browser. Yep, there it is. The output is over there. So this one is just an example, like a very basic example of WebSocket connection to our compilers. You can, adjust it according to your needs in your website, but you have full control here because this one is in a form of, REST API and also WebSocket API. Then that's the things. Next things, it will also allow you to use, the third capabilities, which is the the AI endpoint. So as we know, we have a very nice capability here called JDoodle. Here we can generate the code, explain the code, and debug the code, as well as the commenting the code, or maybe explaining an error as well. Yes, you can have it as well in your website with our REST API. So we already provide you another endpoint. It's going to be available in our website in the documentation, so you don't need to memorize it. And then you can specify the inputs, the task. We got couple tasks like optimize, generate, comment, and lots of other tasks for you. And we need to specify the Python, and don't forget your client ID and secret. So basically, what it does is trying to optimize the code, and yep. So it's going to give a better, like more simple code. It's going to be optimizing for you. Or for example, you want to have a Fibonacci, functions in Java, then you can just try to generate it for you, and it's already there. Or maybe you want to have it in other code, then yep, you just need to specify the code, the language in other, like maybe Pythons or C# or something. You can also comment in the code, like for example, you can specify the input, and also you can also specify the output of your code. And then you want our AI to put some comments to explain better what actually the code does for you. Then you can just specify this task, which is debug, and then the source of languages, it's going to be, you can specify Java because it's Java, and then once you hit it, yep, it's going to be working for you. And yeah, the output is going to be there. Yep, it's not readable because this one is basically in the in the JSON output. So but you can still like try to process it, and give a better view, better format in your website. Okay, I think it's pretty much it. So in our API compilers, we have these three capabilities that you can import to your website and use it, in a full controls of yours. Yep, I think that's it from me. So now I'll give it back to Gokul or Melvi maybe.
Hi, Gokul.
Let me try if my screen share works. Looks working this time. Great. Great. Hope everyone can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, this is what I wanted to quickly show you, like how our embed is used in different blogs and other places by our customers. This is one of a very popular blog for Java community across the world, and they use our plugin here. So you can see this comes from JDoodle. This is our premium plugin. I think they have done a bit of customization here. Then this is another blog where our free version, the basic version of the embed has been used. So basically, you can see you can use it with empty, or you can insert the programs, and you can select versions, interactive mode. As Sharada shown, there is no limit. You can get all the functionality we have in JDoodle. This is an example for our Ultra Embed. So basically, Sharda shown you basic and premium. This is Ultra Embed. This type of design probably you can't do in premium. It's because it has some specific design like upload files, and they want to use only Java and C#, and they wanted to add the copy to clipboard feature, things like that. So this type of thing only available in Ultra. If you need much more customization other than what we have in a premium plan, feel free to get in touch with us. And this is another example how software library providers are using our plugins and APIs. So iText is a popular PDF generation, PDF modification library in C# and Java. And they are using our plugin to demonstrate how their product can be used. Yep, similarly, you can use it in any platform where it is HTML, be it Moodle. If you go to Moodle, you can create just open any text, go to the HTML side of it, copy the 3 lines, Sharda shown, just paste it in. You can see our plugin straight into Moodle. Yep, that's all from my side. Melvi, you can take over.
Thanks, Gokul. So I will just quickly run through our subscription plans, specifically for embeds in the APIs. For individuals, we have a free plan and we have a pro plan. In the free plan, you'll get unlimited basic embeds and 1 premium embed. As far as the pro plan, you will get 10 premium embeds. We are shortly going to be introducing an introductory offer to our pro plan, which is going to be at $5 per month to the original price, which is $10. Going to this plan is specifically for individual users. When we go to our organizations, we have a team plan. We have the free plan as well. We have a team plan, which is at $100 per month. Here you can manage users in the API and the embeds. We also have a custom plan. So depending on your needs and requirements, you can reach out to us at hello@jdoodle.com, and our team will get the details of requirements, the size of your organization, all those kind of details, and we can tailor make a plan for you. When we talk about our API plans, we have free plans, which gives you 200 credits per day. 1,000 credits per day you will get at $10 per month. And here also we have customized plans where you need to reach out to us at hello@jdoodle.com, and our team will get in touch with you. Furthermore, like I mentioned earlier, we do have a mobile application which is available on App Store and Play Store. So if you ever get tired of sitting on your machine 24/7, you can always continue your code on your mobile application anywhere. Also, like Gokul mentioned, we are all around. We are active on our social media platforms. We also constantly check our Discord. So if you have any questions or any concerns, you can post it on Discord, and our team will get in touch with you. Also, if you like our product, if you like JDoodle, we would request you to please review us on Product Hunt. I'll be sharing the links in the chat below. So once again, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us to this webinar. We will be having a lot more webinars coming soon, which will take you in depth to a lot of the other features that we have, like the assessments and the AI tool as well. So thank you, everyone, for joining us today, and I will see you in the upcoming webinars.